Hey guys, if you click that link today, you're wanting to watch this video on why some buyers aren't wanting a buyer's agent. So make sure you stay tuned to the end so that you can see all that I've got to offer and what my insight is to this as well. Hey guys, real quick, if this is the first time you've ever been to this channel, make sure you click that subscribe button and the notify bell there down below. Once you do that, you'll get constant notifications when I put new videos out. I put new videos out weekly, and they're all here to help benefit you if you're moving to Woodland Park, if you're living in Woodland Park currently and looking to sell, or if you just want to find stuff to do and see what's happening around this area, or maybe get new ideas, this is the channel for you. So make sure you hit that subscribe and that little bell down there so you get notified when a new video comes out, and you'll be able to stay on top of things that are happening here in the Woodland Park and the Teller County area. Now, if you have any questions whatsoever, whether you're selling or buying here in this area, please don't hesitate. Give me a call. Night and day, 719-304-9772. You can also send me a text at that, or you can email me at james.dean@kw.com. I honestly have folks that are contacting me all the time, asking questions, wanting to know what's going on, and just needing some general help as well. So if that's you, don't hesitate to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. I would love to help you as you're looking to move to this area, or if you're looking to make another move while you're in this area or move out of it. I am here and I'm one of your local mountain real estate agents. Hope you enjoy this video. Hey guys, I've recently had some very interesting experiences as a listing agent with multiple buyers contacting me without any representation to purchase the home I've listed. One of them was an agent in another state, which is really the only one that I can relate to. The others were either trying to get an inside edge of the purchase or flat out didn't trust or believe that a buyer's agent was worth having. So I wanted to address some pros and cons of what could happen with a buyer doing this. Let's look at the pros first. So first pro, you can cut out another middleman. So by doing that, you've got less likelihood of there being any kind of miscommunications or any weird things that kind of happen throughout this process. And you're cutting out one of the agents that you can actually get contact directly to the listing agent, and they're able to go to the seller, and you're able to get a lot of information based on that. You can also get immediate insight on what the seller wants in an offer. So you've got the direct link to that seller. You can find out exactly what they want. It might not just be price, but other things that you could put into your offer that would make it stronger so that you can compete against others. You could also get a discount on the commission, which might make your offer a little more lucrative to the seller. So when I say that, that doesn't always happen. It really depends on the agent, and it depends on what's been negotiated already with that seller. But some agents will actually offer, say, let's say that there was a 6% commission and it was getting split half and half with the buyer's agent and the seller's agent on there, so 3% each side. But if the buyer or the buyer comes in and uses the same agent as the sellers do, so then becoming a transaction broker, sometimes those agents will discount that down to 5% to be a win-win across the board for everybody. So on a $600,000 home, your offer could end up looking $6,000 better because you're saving a percentage on that. So that's definitely something else to look at as well. You can also know immediately how competitive your offer is with the other offers that are out there. So you will have that direct input directly from that agent and knowing exactly how competitive you are. Now, I will say, other than the discount and commission, a good buyer's agent will be able to take care of all that stuff for you if they're communicating correctly with that listing agent. So that's just something important to remember as well. So here's some cons. You've now lost the ability to have a professional advocating and advising you on the risks and advantages on the home. What do I mean by that? Well, in the state of Colorado, we're not able to do what's called dual agency. That means being a seller's agent and a buyer's agent at the same time. If that agent was a seller's agent, in order for them to be able to represent you and the seller, they have to do a change in positions to a transaction broker, meaning that they're no longer able to advise either side on what advantages and disadvantages there are. All they're doing is basically they're helping to facilitate the deal and make sure everything out correctly and staying within those timelines. They're not there negotiating for you anymore. They're not there doing anything like that along those lines. So you are there at it all by yourself. Now, remember, More than likely, and I know that I do this, if I'm the listing agent, if I'm a listing seller's agent on there, before the house even goes active, I've already started advising this client what to look for, how we're going to negotiate, how we're going to do things. So this client's already prepped, whereas you as the buyer are not going to have that advantage on that. So that could be a major disadvantage for you as well. Another one, depending on how many homes you have bought and sold in your life, you would be very inexperienced and possibly lacking important knowledge about what should be done correctly on a purchase to protect your assets. What do I mean by this? Most folks that are looking to buy their next home and they're not an investor, they're not going to have a whole lot of experience on buying and selling other than when they move or when they buy or sell their current residence, which typically happens every 5 to 7 years, depending on what kind of profession you have and how much you actually move, but that's pretty much the average. Now, if you look at that with somebody that is in their 40s, you're only looking at maybe 3 or 4 moves total. Whereas if you've got an actual agent that's there that does it constantly, that has lots of experience under their belt, this is what they do for a living, and they're going to be very, very experienced on that, especially with knowledge about where you are in certain things that might be specific to that area, and they're going to know how to direct you on that. Another one is you might have not known about the property being for sale until it was too late. Now, I know a lot of you are out there using Zillow and all these other third-party apps. But here's the thing with these. Folks don't have standard times that they list a home for sale. So you never really know when it's going to go active on there. They could set it to go active at 2 p.m., 1 a.m. You don't really know. And Zillow isn't a real-time app. It does get pretty close, but it's still, you can have a 3 or 4 hour window on that where things change. And we've seen properties go that quickly also. So it's very important to be able to have somebody with the search criteria they could put in there. You're going to get direct emails. They can set it to ASAP. So as soon as it goes active, it immediately sends out and you get notifications so that you know exactly what's active out there, what's coming soon. And oh, by the way, sometimes for some reason, some of the MLS stuff doesn't list properly in Zillow. Sometimes Pikes Peak MLS won't translate properly to Zillow, or Denver won't translate properly to Zillow. And if that agent doesn't have active membership in multiple MLSs, there's a chance Zillow might not activate until it's way too late or it's already under contract. So definitely something to think about along those lines too. Another con is you have no idea who the listing agent is and haven't established any credibility with him or her to know that they're even competent at what they do. You're really just flipping a coin and hoping that this agent's going to do what they say they're going to do. You're going to walk in there and you're basically going to be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars without ever speaking to this person before you called them and asked them to double in a deal or do transaction broker on both sides, which, by the way, is very lucrative for that agent because now they're going to get twice the commission for one home on there. Maybe a little bit discounted, but still quite a bit more money. So there's more incentive in there for them to do that too. Do you really know that agent well enough to trust them to know that, even though technically they're not supposed to be, having anything that ethically keeps them from making decisions or doing what they're supposed to do as a transaction broker, and that they aren't going to try to influence a little bit more? I mean, come on, let's think about it. We're all humans, so just think about that a little bit. Also, the seller might have restricted that listing agent from switching to a transaction broker. What I mean with that is there's an actual little box on there, and this agent also has to have a communication with the listing or the sellers to even switch to that transaction brokerage, to go from agent to transaction broker on there. Now that's important to know, because if that seller is not willing to allow their agent to do that, you potentially just miss out on the property, because now you're trying to back in something and work your way through it, and that seller is not going to allow that agent to do that. So now you're scrambling trying to find a buyer's broker that's going to be able to go in there, a buyer's agent that's going to be able to go in there and represent you, and you're already 2 steps behind during this process in a very fast market. Another one is the listing agent may be doing the same thing with other buyers, making it really awkward when discussing what your offer is with him or her. What I mean is there might be other buyers that had the same thought process you did for this home, and they're doing the exact same thing right now. So now this agent is potentially double-ending 4 or 5 different people at the same time, and they're all discussing with them, and they're all getting that same benefit on there. In reality, he's using all this stuff to really kind of bid up the price on there also. So definitely something to think about. Now, I can go on and on about why this is a very risky position to be in, but what I really want to do is discuss why most of the buyers who did not want a buyer's agent have probably made that decision. I heard multiple times that the buyers did not think a buyer's agent was worth it. Now, I do not know what experiences these buyers have had in the past, but I do know that not all real estate agents are equal. In fact, I don't know of any profession that everyone is equal in, even if they have the same certifications. Let's take a profession that most people have had many more interactions with than they would have with a realtor, a car mechanic. I think that we can all agree that no matter where we live or have lived, that there are always vehicle mechanics that we would never bring our vehicle to or do business with, whether we've had firsthand experience with that mechanic or heard stories about things that have happened with that mechanic. In fact, if we have lived somewhere long enough, we have a mechanic that we trust and will pay to service our vehicles. Realtors are the same way, and when you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, you want to and deserve to have someone who knows what they are doing. An average agent in the Pikes Peak region will only do 3 to 5 transactions a year. Now, does that sound like someone who will make sure you are taken care of and is an expert in their field? I average 3 to 5 transactions a month. That's 12 times what the average agent does for a business in a year. Have you ever sat down and discussed what strategies your agent will employ to help you get into your house? How many offers does it take in a market where the average agent is writing anywhere from 10 to 15 offers before one is getting accepted? Is your agent averaging before he gets his buyers in a contract? My average is 2 to 3 offers. Is your agent recommending that you waive things that protect you, such as inspections, to make your offer stronger? I never recommend that a buyer or seller should waive an inspection. Inspections protect both parties, and as a buyer who is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, shouldn't you want to know what you're getting into? Okay, I know there was a lot of information on this and I kind of got on a pedestal, but I just want to make sure you guys are understanding and knowing that yes, there are buyer's agents out there that are not probably worth their commission, but there's some out there that really are also. And when you're looking at spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, you really need to be making sure that you're vetting who's going to be representing you to make sure they're going to get you in the home that you want, and they're doing it in a way that makes sure that you're getting protected and taken care of as well. So once again, this is James Dean with James Dean Mountain Real Estate Team. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below with that notification bell. Call me, text me, email me. Doesn't matter what you want to do if you have any questions whatsoever. And I hope to see you soon. We'll have another video out for you next week.